Hey guys, today's lesson is compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world. No joke, this is probably my favorite topic in all of math because, man, if you learn this when you're 18 years old, gosh, what can happen to you? Unbelievable. All right, here's our formula. Compound interest works like this. A means final amount, P is principal. The P means the amount of money that you start with. The 1 just keeps the principal in place. R stands for interest rate. T right there is for time. N is the thing everyone misses. N is how many times a year your interest is compounded. To be honest, most banks compound quarterly, so N would be 4. Sometimes you find stuff compounded monthly, which N would be 12. If something's compounded daily, N would be 365. But that's what the stuff stands for. One more time. P is principal, how much you start with. The 1 holds the principal in place while you figure out the A, which is the final amount. R is interest rate. T is time. N is how many times compounded per year. I'm going to show you 2 examples, and that's it. All right. Let's say you deposit $9,000 in an account that pays 1.46% annual interest. Find the balance after 3 years when the interest is compounded quarterly. So I'm going to set this up. The final amount is going to be the principal, the amount you started with, $9,000. The 1 is a placeholder to keep the $9,000 in there. The rate is 1.46. Now you got to move a decimal back 2 places because you got to change it to a decimal. And then it's over N. N is how many times compounded per year, which is 4, or at N. 4 times in my exponent is 4 times the time, which is 3. And what I'm going to do is I would do this when I can. I know the exponent right there is 12. It's going to be quicker to plug it in, just put exponent at 12. So I'm going to punch it in and see what I get. And the final amount is $9,402.30. So in 3 years, at a terrible interest rate, 1%, you made $402.30 for doing absolutely nothing except watching your interest compound on your interest. And compound interest means your interest is making interest, which is a pretty good concept. All right, you deposit $2,200 in an account that pays 3%, a little bit better annual interest. How much is in an account for 6 years? Compounded monthly. Monthly is the big word. So here we go again. The final amount is the principal, the amount you start with, times 1 plus R. Got to change it to a decimal, over N. Compounded monthly. How many times is that a year? That's 12 times a year. And then 12 times 6 is my exponent, which, by the way, is really 72. Going to punch it in one more time. And the final amount in that account would be $2,633.40. Now, that account actually made $433 more than the other one, even though we invested a whole lot less. But here's the deal. We had a better interest rate. You got compounded more often, and we just leave it in longer. Time and interest rates are the biggies, okay, the investing money. And we're going to spend the day tomorrow talking about all kinds of scenarios and things you should do as you get older and start investing money on your own. And to be honest, it's going to be the most important thing I tell you the whole rest of the year. So I hope you're there tomorrow, and I hope you really buy into it and take it for what it's worth. This, again, be the best thing you learn all year. See you then. Bye.